Hey everyone, it's Farand Wasiak. I'm here with IACIS Mobile Device Forensics Chairman Mario Merendon, Fort Worth, Texas. Mario, how you doing today?
I'm great, Waz. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing well. Holidays, everything. Obviously football's happening. College football, very exciting. My Buffalo Bills, a little bit of uh, a shake up on Monday, but hopefully with tomorrow and going forward, we're gonna uh, get things going a little. Get things going, hopefully, and not
Yeah.
classic Buffalo Bills fashion, but we'll see.
Hey, if anything, the I know how the feeling goes with Dallas Cowboys, so we'll see how that goes this season.
You got Super Bowls, and I think you got two against us. So I don't know if I want to hear that. So Mario, you have a long, extensive career in law enforcement. Can you just give our viewers just a little history of how you started from wearing boots on the road to where you are today?
Yeah, yeah, certainly. So I've been in law enforcement 16 years, and I started my career just like everybody else in patrol. I actually had a few years in there, about 4 years of mounted patrol experience as well. But things really started changing for me when I joined CID. And then one of my specialties within criminal investigations were crimes against children. And that's pretty much where I got my taste of digital forensics before moving on to doing digital forensics full time.
Nice, excellent. Uh, you said 16 years.
Yeah, 16 years of law enforcement, and just in the past 2 years, I actually made a transition into the private sector. So it's been quite a ride, a lot different than law enforcement, a
Yeah.
lot more laid back, pays better, but yeah, it's pretty good. I like it.
Are you down to one cell phone or do you still have two cell phones?
I'm down to one now.
That's my goal.
Yeah,
Maybe in like 727 days I'll be at that level. I'm not
you are
counting, I'm
counting
just
down the
saying.
days. Yeah.
No, I'm good at math. Throw toothpicks on the ground, I'll be able to tell you how many toothpicks are there. With that, obviously since you're being interviewed, you got the nice quarter zip on. Uh, your involvement in IACIS from getting your foot in the door to being the chairman of mobile device forensics. Could you just run us through that history?
Yeah, absolutely. So I was actually introduced to IACIS through Troy Lawrence. He's a sergeant over Fort Worth Police Department's Digital Forensic Lab, which is about 30 minutes away from where we were. And he told me all about IACIS and the BCFE class, and I actually got approved to attend that back in 2018. And from there, it just kind of, you got to see a really good glimpse behind the scenes of how everyone interacted, how everyone, the camaraderie in the digital forensic community. So, after receiving my CFCE certification, I really wanted to volunteer, and I saw what I thought was a well-oiled machine, and I wanted to be a part of that. So, I became a peer review coach right afterwards. Did that for a couple of years, and I also joined the online team and the mobile device forensic team, the MDF team, back in 2019. And from there, I assisted with some behind the scenes stuff with the online team, and also um, developing content and instructing for the mobile team. And then late 2020 is when I took over as chairman of there, and we've done a lot of good things in the past couple of years, and I like the direction it's going.
Nice, nice,
Yeah.
nice. Uh, Topics covered. I know the two big dogs in the game. I think the only dogs in the game. Apple and Android.
Yep.
Both of those are covered. Could you go over topics covered as well as the instructors? I know you have an all-star team assembled. The instructors that will be teaching this course.
Yeah. Well, as you know, you having been an Android instructor as well, you know the ins and outs of how much work goes into that, and there's no shortage of passion with our volunteers, and you know, past and present. Now it's great. We we have these instructors that are not only have many years of law enforcement experience, real life experience to bring to our students, but some of us now are in the private sector and we see it a little bit differently. And I think IACIS as a whole, it caters to all different types of sectors. So, as far as I would say that one of the benefits of our mobile class is that we actually try to teach the student to understand the data and not be reliant on a tool. I believe once you get a taste of really what's going on behind the scenes, how iOS and Android are saving their data, and then you can definitely apply that across the spectrum in all of your investigations. So, not being reliant on the tool is huge for us. We also like to concentrate on uncovering artifacts that are relevant in today's investigations. I think we've all, some of us, whether you're watching or have not attended our IACIS classes yet, we've all somewhere down the road have experienced some sort of class that just kind of throws some information at you that really isn't relevant to what you're doing back home. And you go back and you're like, oh, what am I going to use this for? But we like to give you a little bit of everything. So, just a really good baseline to help your analysis better, help your investigations better, and really just kind of tap into that, that passion I think everyone has that's in this field, that enjoy uncovering these different artifacts. And to kind of answer your question a little more, we've, in your investigations, mobile is huge. It's becoming almost a part of every single one of our cases. So we're getting a big uptick in intake of cases involving mobile devices. On top of that, we have so many things changing technologically behind the scenes, almost like what we hear, monthly with Apple or Android, and what we learn one year changes, or it's good, it helps us out in our investigations, what we know for about a year or two, and then it changes. Yes. And as you know, as being an instructor, we have to be on top of that. We have to roll with those punches. We have to learn the new updates. And I think all of our instructors have been really good at being involved with the mobile forensic community and digital forensics as a whole. We have myself, Jung Song from New Zealand. We have Alexis Brignoni, he's really passionate about digital forensics and really big in development and research. Heather Charpentier up in New York State, and Anna Truss, she's in the private sector. And I think just over the years, all of our experiences, combined real world experiences, real world investigations, it's going to bring a lot to the table. And I'm really excited to see the topics that are coming out. And speaking of, I know you and I talked off camera, but about the AirTags, for instance.
Oh yeah, stocking stuffer probably. Stocking stuffer 2022. Yep.
Yeah. So if you ever flown any, those AirTags come in great assistance when you're trying to track your luggage, and probably track it better than the airlines do nowadays.
Well, especially with that. I'm not going to name any airline names, but there one in particular that they had a little bit of they had a lot of issues, but there's a lot of luggage issues going with that. And I think AirTags would helped out a little bit. Speaking of AirTags, there is some forensic use to it that us in our world can use, correct?
Absolutely. We hear it on the news a lot about stalking cases, and it seems very prevalent to use those type of devices. And we always see there's a lot of good coming out of products, and then there's somebody out there that's going to use it for bad.
Of course, yeah.
And so being able to track that location data specifically on the devices, whether it pertains to AirTags or just the device itself, is key in an investigation. It's almost like we need that nowadays for prosecutions, and that's, prosecutions rely heavily on that. And we recently we have an issue with Apple now encrypting backups.
Yeah.
Or in the last handful of years, Apple has enabled users to password protect their notes, and those type of things are the type of topics that we cover in our class in order to help those examiners and analysis in their investigations. So it's definitely relevant information. We like to keep it relevant. I really think that we could take our classes are 1 week, and I really think we could easily take 2 weeks on this topic. But nonetheless, the information that the students leave with are gonna definitely help and change the way they investigate their cases.
Yeah. When you talk about the changes, the one you and I discussed with Jung last year was it
the photo metadata?
How the user, without having any forensic knowledge, can change all the photo metadata to change the location of the picture, the date, time and date, and how difficult it is for us examining the phone to see if that photo was manipulated. I mean, it's crazy.
You could definitely get down a rabbit trail with determining whether or not that photo has been that metadata has been changed. I mean, nowadays the tools are pretty good at catching what the real metadata is, EXIF data, and so forth. But also you have issues with AirDrop, and we can show you on how to determine where that AirDrop came from. And just the databases alone. I mean, you're gonna see, okay, it was airdropped to this phone, but where was it from? So we got to go to the diagnosis logs and see, dig a little deeper there. And so that's another topic that we're going to cover and talk about. So we just like to again keep it very relevant and very useful in today's investigations.
Absolutely. And I've said this in the past with other classes. You have to teach the zeros and ones. You have to get down the hex. You have to do some of that in order to just bring some skin into the game, so you have some, I guess, credibility when you hit on the stand. The other thing too is, and obviously my opinion on Android versus Apple. Apple's a very nice situated, common flow, hierarchy, where Android is a mess when it comes to forensics. If you're not using the tools, if you got to dig down to the databases for it, it's the Wild West, and it's I wish I could say
it's a lot different.
It's totally different. Yeah. Luckily, I learned a lot about Android. I'm an Apple user and everything, and I love working on iPhones as opposed to an Android. I don't. They're just nice. I mean, once you could get everything, once that box works and you got a full file system, everything's great. We're Androids are Androids. So
like you said, it's they're night and day, and that's one thing that we try to help our students with, is untangling that mess. Because it is quite an obstacle and quite a feat to learn 2 different operating systems like that, and to be very proficient in it, and like you said, testify to it, because we are the experts. So we really want to get the students comfortable with that data, instead of just shying away from it or looking at a SQLite database and notice there's blob data in there, and just, we don't want them to skip over it. We want them to actually get comfortable with it, see it, go in there and identify the type of data that's in there that is certainly relevant. So
and you and I know the software, which is all great, they're always catching up. to the versions. So it's important to have that database knowledge, because there's a lot of information in certain apps that have not, that the engineers, whoever at the software companies, have not caught up with yet. But it's relevant data where you know where to look for it, or if you do find it, they could give you GPS information, time and date information. I mean, it's especially with a missing person, a murder, or any crime whatsoever. It's imperative that you have this knowledge, and it's actually a tremendous amount of information you can find from searching these databases.
Definitely. So, even in our research stages, we learn so much, and it's just passing on that torch, passing on that knowledge, and motivating our key investigators, our digital forensic investigators out there, because as you can attest, how we talk about in class, it's oftentimes there's evidence that's there, and if they just skip over it, they're the only people that are going to notice that. Unless you're a defense expert that may see it or something, but they have to be comfortable with it. So we just definitely don't want to get miss that data. So.
No, yeah, absolutely. And it's amazing how much data the apps track of you. If I drive a certain time of day, I go to the gym in the morning, and my iPhone will give me directions to my gym. Or if I pass by a Burger King, my Burger King alert will go off saying, "Hey, do you want a Whopper?" Or when I go home at 5 o'clock every day from work, my phone will tell me directions to my house. It not only is it tracking your location, but it also eventually learns your patterns. And both Android and iPhones do that. They learn your patterns. They learn what apps you're using. And all that information is within that phone. If you ever had to build a case against somebody, my phone is probably more me than Farand Wasiak is as a body. I mean, I could lose my wallet, but do not let me lose my phone, because I could cancel everything in my wallet through my phone. If I lose that phone, I don't think I want to get back in the country. I don't think I don't know what I do. So I'd have to go Rambo style in the woods somewhere and just hope a chopper comes and exfils me back to America. I don't know. So, but it is amazing with the apps, all the information out there. It's scary. I know, from looking at it from the behind the computer screen or in front of the computer screen. All the information that these phones store on a person. Even if they want to clandestinely hide themselves, there's still information to be to be found in a phone.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Mario, what else you got? You got any closing remarks on mobile device forensics? IACIS 2023.
Yep, so IACIS 2023, mobile, we have a lot of good things in store. I think every year, we've always had some good content, and this year's going to be no different. So I know these classes are filling up fast if they haven't already on the first week. But I know that I also like to thank, while we're here, some of our vendors that have contributed to our members, our volunteers, that have given them opportunities to attend our class and the BCFE class. And I think it's just been a wonderful and overall great partnership. And I love to see more people get involved. So it's been great. And for those that are attending the conference this year, please come by, see any of us, and come say hi. I mean, it's like a big family. So definitely look forward to it every year.
It is. And the students, they do get toys. They do leave the class with toys.
We have a lot of good
correct?
stuff. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had Lee last year had won that iPad.
Yeah.
Or was it Lee? No, it wasn't Lee. It was the other guy. But,
well, the iPad was huge, but I think it was the toiletries. I think also came into play because the high end.
The 2-ply toilet paper.
It comes in. Trust me, the difference maker. So, all right, Mario. Fort Worth, Texas. I'm in South Carolina, originally from Western New York, South Carolina. We have pork barbecue, and I know Texas has a little bit different style of barbecue. and I know what it is, and I love it. I do love a good beef brisket. So what if you had to pick a barbecue in Dallas Fort Worth area, who would you go with?
Just God, man, that's kind of tough to put me on the spot here. You know, there's a lot of good places in the Dallas Fort Worth area. I mean, I don't get out as much as I should, but man, I can't really just name just one, honestly. It seems like everybody has perfected it in their own way, so it's a little bit different. You go to Dallas, a little bit different in Fort Worth. Heck, we even go down to Austin, you know. I think it's Franklin's Barbecue. It's really good. But no, I don't think you can go wrong around here at all. And I wish I could just tell you just one place, but even some of the bigger commercial areas are picking up steam, so to speak. So
yeah, and I'm glad you answered that way, because I'm the same way with chicken wings. You go to Buffalo, Niagara Falls, New York. I can't name one place I would go to, but even the worst chicken wing place there makes outstanding chicken wings. You know, yeah. You just know if you order chicken wings, they're going to be great chicken wings. So I understand that. The same thing with you. It's
and if I had to name one, I would just throw out 407 Barbecue, which is up in the North Lake area off of 35.
407.
407.
My favorite wing place. It's not Anchor Bar. It's actually Duff's Wings, like Duff Beer from The Simpsons. Okay. Duff's Wings, tremendous. The medium are hot, and the hot are extra hot. I'm telling you, it's the best chicken wing in Western New York. Anybody ever travels to Buffalo, New York, Duff's Wings. That's my favorite.
Try it out.
Very good. How was the weather? Were you guys part of that whole deep freeze Christmas thing that happened to the rest of the country?
Not here, not this year. I mean, we did have Ice Mageddon a year back or so, but no, you know, I swear we've had probably about 3 different seasons in the past couple weeks here. So right now it's not too bad, 50s, but I'm sure at some point a late deep freeze will make its appearance, and I think we're going to be a lot more prepared than we were the last time. So hopefully no rolling blackouts, but we'll see.
I had actually. I had some frozen pipes on Christmas Eve, but I have a father-in-law who brought over a camping heater, and we were able to thaw everything out before anything busted. And then I went to Home Depot, and it was nothing but guys buying insulation for pipes, including myself. I moved away from cold weather. I wake up at 7 degrees outside, 7, one away from 6. I'm like, what is this? I go to turn on the hot water. No hot water, but that was quickly resolved and fixed for that. So that was a little bit of a scare, but did not do any damage. So
it can get expensive.
Absolutely. Mario Merendon, IACIS 2023 mobile device forensics, sunny Orlando. Mario, always great to talk to you.
To it. Yes,
we'll be seeing you in a couple months.
Thanks, boss. Thanks.
All right, brother. We'll see you. Okay.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
When I see you, baby.